Well, what was the most memorable weather event of 2022? There's a lot to choose from as Mother Nature brought the extremes and blizzards to North Dakota. Jacob Morse takes a look.
2022 kicked off on a frigid note with wind chills as low as 60 degrees below zero. The theme for January and February was Alberta clippers with gusty winds. Snow, blowing snow, and even blizzard warnings were common across northern and especially eastern North Dakota, leaving a sharp cutoff in snow depth and the southwest dry. March was tranquil and relatively mild outside of a great display of the northern lights to conclude the month. But we made up for it in April as a massive winter storm targeted the northern plains mid-month. For many, this 3-day blizzard was their most impactful and memorable weather event of the year. Calving season was in full swing, adding an extra layer of complexity for ranchers as up to 3 feet of snow fell in some places like Minot. All the ingredients came together over the past 48 hours to develop this storm over the central part of the country.
20 plus inches of snow on the ground already. We are in the midst of a historic blizzard.
We saw snowfall rates 2 to 3 inches per hour yesterday as that snow band was moving towards the north.
Really, Minot is the epicenter, and we've been talking about that. The Minot would really get hit hard.
I do think the biggest factor today will be that blowing snow and those wind speeds. Some areas yesterday surpassed 60-mile-per-hour winds.
Most of North Dakota is shut down.
This blizzard turned out to be Bismarck's biggest April snowstorm in record-keeping history and 7th most snow received from a single storm during any month. The April snow wasn't done, however, as heavy snow traversed the state on Easter Sunday, and yet another blizzard impacted primarily western North Dakota later in the month, with even severe weather with this system in the east. Navigating calving once again and dealing with ice accretion were some of the many impacts of this blizzard. Unfortunately, all this snow led to the worst spring for flooding in the Red River Valley in more than a decade. Farms were inundated and dams even needed to be stabilized with sandbags. The severe weather season picked up in June as Bismarck was impacted by flooding. Then Dickinson was hit with a severe thunderstorm that produced a lot of small hail, enough to close some streets and strand some cars. On the night of July 9th, a powerful supercell delivered estimated 120-mile-per-hour wind gusts to the Fairfield area, snapping around 100 power poles and damaging many structures. Beach saw 85-mile-per-hour gusts, also resulting in tree and structural damage. High-end damaging winds returned to the region on July 18th, with estimated 95-mile-per-hour gusts in Wild Rose and 75-mile-per-hour gusts in Belcourt. Large hail up to 3 inches in diameter was also observed on this day in Williston. Bismarck saw a significant hailstorm on the afternoon of July 21st as 2 supercells moved over the city, producing golf ball to tennis ball sized hail. The next day, a photogenic storm developed in north-central North Dakota and tracked just to the north of Minot, but a 75-mile-per-hour gust was reported at the Air Force Base. Storms quieted down a bit until mid-August when 3 tornadoes impacted northeast McLean County up to EF2 strength. Some incredible photos of multiple tornadoes on the ground were taken as they were displaced from most of the rain, leading to clear shots of the funnels. The fall was overall mild before winter weather arrived in the form of a major storm mid-November that delivered over 17 inches of snow to the capital city, very close to the most snow ever recorded in one calendar day. Another storm impacted the region in mid-December with 1 to 2 feet of snow and blizzard conditions as winds gusted to over 50 miles per hour at the end of this multi-day event. The life-threatening cold followed with wind chills as low as the 60s below zero and strong winds that led to blowing snow and closed roads. And we wrapped up the year with fittingly another blizzard on Christmas Day as whiteout conditions were present for some. April, November, and December really stick out as some of the months with the most impactful weather in 2022 and the coldest temperatures. And snowfall for the 2022 to 23 season in Bismarck is already on a record-setting pace. For your news leader, I'm Jacob Morse.
Extreme and severe drought have decreased since the start of 2022, while most of the state remains under moderate drought.